Hi friends, and welcome to my channel English Fluency Lab, where I help you improve your English language skills. Friends, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the three words should, could, and would. Now, many English language learners get really confused as to when these words should be used. So in this video, I'm going to do a deep dive as to when you should be using these words. Now, before I go ahead, I want to tell you that should, could, and would are called modal verbs. And I have another video on my channel about the 6 basic qualities of modal verbs. And I will leave a link in the description box. I would urge you to watch that video also so that you get a better understanding of how to use should, could, and would. So let's get started right away. First of all, let us start with should or should not, or should or shouldn't. Now, use should and shouldn't to ask for and give advice and suggestions. So should and should not are used for advice and suggestions. Let's take a couple of examples. I've had a really bad headache for the past week. That's not good. You should go to the doctor. So you see the word should is being used for advice. I want to make more friends, but I don't know how. First of all, you should not spend so much time on the computer. You should go out and join a club or start playing a sport instead. So you see, shouldn't spend so much time on the computer is a suggestion, and you should go out and join a club is advice. Right? So these are two examples of should and should not being used for advice and suggestions. Let's look at one more example. I had a fight with my sister. What should I do? I think you should call her and tell her you're sorry. You should call her. This is being used as advice. So I hope the use of the word should or should not is clear. Let's move on. Now let's understand the words could or could not, or could or couldn't. Use could and couldn't for ability in the past, right? They are the past forms of can and cannot, can and can't, right? So could or could not are the past forms of can and can't. Let's take a few examples. When I was younger, I could run a mile in 7 minutes. Now it takes me 20 minutes. So this person is talking about the past. When he was younger, which is an event in the past, he could run a mile in 7 minutes, but now it takes him 20 minutes, right? So it's talking about something in the past. Yesterday, I could not find my wallet anywhere, but this morning I found it. Again, something about the past. He could not find his wallet in the past, but this morning he found it. Last year, he couldn't speak English very well, but now he can. Couldn't speak English very well last year, right? Talking about an event in the past, but now he can. Okay, this is the present, but couldn't is being used for an event in the past. So you see how could or could not is used for the past form of can and can't, and they are for ability in the past, right? Let's move on. You could use could to talk about future possibilities. Question: do you have any ideas for a publicity campaign? Answer: yes, I've got a few ideas. I could put advertisements on Facebook and Google. We could also give out pamphlets in our neighborhood. Maybe John could even contact local TV stations. So you see how could is being used for future possibilities. That's another use of the word could. Let's move on. Use could to make polite requests. You could also use could to make polite requests. Could you please open the window? It's hot in here. Could you turn the music down? Thanks. Could you make 10 copies of this report, please? So you see how the word could is being used for polite requests. That's another use of the word could. Let's move on. Now to the last one, would or would not, or would or wouldn't. Use would to talk about unreal or unlikely situations, right? Or imaginary situations. If I were the president of my company, I would make a lot of changes. Now this is an imaginary or an unreal situation. This person is not the president of the company. But he's saying, if I were the president of my company, I would make a lot of changes. An unreal or unlikely situation. If people were more generous, there wouldn't be so much poverty in the world. Which means that people are not generous right now. It's an imaginary or an unreal situation, right? That's why we are using the word wouldn't. He would travel around the world if he had more vacation time. Again, imaginary situation, unreal situation. He does not have so much of vacation time, but if he had, he's imagining he would travel around the world. So would or would not is used for unreal or unlikely situations. Let's understand this better. In some cases, would is often shortened to I''D, and it is pronounced as I'd. Let's take a few examples. If I were the president of my company, I'd make a lot of changes. I'd is short form for I would. if I were the president of my company, I'd make a lot of changes. I'd suggest you try the chicken tikka masala. I'd, again short form for I would. I'd recommend taking the train instead of the bus. Again, I'd. I'd go to the park every day after school. Again, I apostrophe D, which stands for I would. I would go to the park every day after school. So instead of I'd, if you were to put I would, the statement would be correct. Let's take another one. Use would you like to make polite offers. Now, that's another use of the word would. And if you put you like, it can be used to make polite offers. Would you like anything to drink? A polite offer. A soda would be great, thanks. Question. Would you like to join us for dinner? I'd love to, but I actually have other plans tonight. Would you like to see some pictures from my vacation? Sure. Right? So you see how would is being used for polite offers. So friends, here is the last one. Don't use to after should, could or would. Right? This is something I've covered in my other video also, which I've talked about. This is a wrong sentence. You shouldn't to smoke. The correct is you shouldn't smoke. That's a wrong sentence. We could to order pizza tonight. Correct one. We could order pizza tonight. Wrong sentence. I would to buy a new car if I had the money. Correct one. I would buy a car if I had the money. So never use the word to after should, could or would. That's a rule. So friends, I hope that the use of should, could and would be a little more clearer after watching this video. What I would like you to do is please make one sentence with every situation you have learned in this video with should, could and would, and please post it in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to provide you with some feedback. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one.